It has been a stressful and exhausting time these past few months with work and life in general. Still battling the winter blues and welcoming spring, I was desperate for a week away, so me and my partner Luke decided to go back to North Devon for a 5-day trip. 2 years ago, we had the best few days of our summer here, and although the weather isn't that great this time of the year, I'm sure we'll have a good time. Basically, we didn't have any itinerary for this trip as I just wanted a time away to read, go for long walks, do some writing, and of course, drink a lot of beer and wine. This is your sign to take a time off and book that holiday. Guys, this is my first ever vlog and I would appreciate your support by subscribing and hitting the like button. This is Madge and I am your Ilongga Filipino nurse living in England. I'll update you with the locations of this trip and give you some holiday and life tips. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Holiday tip number 1. If possible, avoid opening your work email when you're on a holiday or any means of communicating with your colleagues. It can ruin your mood and worse, your entire holiday. As I work in healthcare as a nurse, my profession can be really stressful and it made me an overthinker. It has affected my mental health, caused me panic attacks and anxieties at one point. I'm grateful that I had support from my family and friends, and if you ever find yourself in similar situation, do not hesitate to ask for help or talk to someone. Tip number 2. Expect to be physically tired but mentally energized. Traveling to North Devon involved long walks, strong winds, and some rains. It was physically exhausting, but this is a good kind of tired. In the end, you'll forget how hard the walk was because you're mentally alive and happy. Good morning! It's so windy. I thought it was sunny. Used to doing it. Tip number 3. Nothing is permanent in this world. Even a bad day doesn't last. I woke up on the day 3 of our trip and agreed to go for a walk from Putsborough Beach to Woolacombe Beach. I can easily do this walk on a summer day, but I was so grumpy this time due to the strong winds. It made my eyes so watery. When we got to the end of the beach, we stopped by this lovely little cafe called the Shepherd's Hut. Had the best pot of tea and scones here in Devon, and decided that it wasn't that of a horrible walk after all if this is what's waiting on the other end. By the time we started walking back, the sun was out and it wasn't too windy anymore. I was jolly again. Just when I thought the scones and tea was the best part, Luke decided to try a different path home, which is just above the beach. With the lovely sand dunes, it was such a beautiful spot for him to get down on his knee and ask me the question which I couldn't recall now what exactly the words were, but I can still clearly remember how I said, "Of course yes." He was planning to do it on the way to the Woolacombe Beach, but due to my grumpy mood, which I really regret now by the way, he thought he would wait for me to have something to eat and for the sun to come out. It was all so perfect, and I thank God the sun did come out for just 2 hours because I love the ring so much. Another important advice: drive slow to avoid oncoming traffic in the single-track roads and to avoid potholes. We have to change 2 front tires, and luckily a garage 10 minutes away had our tire in stock, or else we'd either be stuck in the flat or worse in the garage waiting for it to be ordered, delivered, and repaired. Tip number 4. Don't hesitate to discover places that aren't part of your itinerary. On our way back to Fleet, we decided to go for a stop at Montague House, which we only knew due to the road signs. It's a National Trust house located in Montague, a village, and civil parish in Somerset. It was so attractive as the village was built almost entirely of local hamstone, which is what you see as a honey-colored building stone. We also saw signs of Starhead National Trust in Wiltshire and decided to check it out. I was glad that we made this stop because this place is just wow. I can't believe how massive the house was, the landscape garden, and the lake. Since Luke has a National Trust membership, we were free to visit. But if you need information regarding tickets and opening times, visit the National Trust website. Did I mention how tasty their cream teas and scones? And all the cakes? You should try it. Just like that, our holiday was over, and I'm back to reality of work again. I hope you enjoyed this video as it took me a lot of courage to share one of the most important event of my life. and hopefully more videos to come.